podcast When Does Brahms Come In? I'm Safa and today we're going to talk about an outstanding person who was a Hungarian-German composer, pianist, teacher, conductor, publicist and simply a major representative of musical romanticism. His popularity in the 19th century was huge and you can probably compare it with Taylor Swift's popularity nowadays. That's all about Franz Liszt. The slogan of his life was the phrase either good or nothing. Franz Liszt was born into the family of a sheep caretaker in 1811. His father served on the estate of Prince Esterhazy, where he became familiar with music, playing cello in his orchestra. Therefore, he began to introduce Franz to musical studies early, and these lessons found a lively response in the soul of the young boy. The future great musician studied organ playing and church singing. He was very successful in this. The father began to arrange public performances for his son. At the age of 8, Franz was already giving small concerts in the houses of noble people. For young Liszt to receive a good musical education, his father moved the family to Vienna, where he received lessons from such major figures of the musical world as Carl Czerny or Antonio Salieri, and absolutely for free. Liszt always admired Beethoven's work and his idol was present at one of Franz's performances. After the concert, Beethoven kissed the boy, which gave Liszt even more self-confidence and inspiration to conquer new heights. At the age of 14, Franz wrote his opera Don Sancho, and the only one in entire life. It had a huge success at the time, but the music sheet was lost. Fortunately, it was found in 1903. Franz Liszt left France for several years and visited almost all European countries. In 1835, he began teaching in Geneva and at the same time writing articles for journalistic publications and working on the musical cycle Years of Wanderings. Returning to Paris, his popularity was no longer the same as before. The public found new idols. But the name of Franz Liszt was already of great importance in other countries. His piano conveyed the sounds of the entire orchestra, and emotions knew no bounds. He loved broken strings and hammers on the instrument he played. Franz Liszt was an innovator in the art of piano playing. He came up with the idea to turn the piano the way it is now seen. The pianist sits in profile on the viewer's side. Liszt was an incredibly handsome pianist with graceful profile and thick, shoulder-length hair. Ladies cried at his concert, fainted and even tried to tear off a strand of his hair or a piece of clothing. There is a story that one lady picked up the stub of Franz's cigar and enclosed it in a diamond medallion, which she constantly wore around her neck. One of Liszt's most romantic works is the Dreams of Love Nocturne. This composition was dedicated to Caroline Wittgenstein, whom the composer loved very much. But the woman was married and had a daughter. This nocturne was already very popular among pianists at the time. They often included this work in their concert programs, and nowadays, of course. Liszt attached a poem to the first edition of the nocturne by the popular Austrian poet Ferdinand Freiligrath. From the text we realize the dreams of love carry an important message that it is worth taking care of those who love us. The love between Franz and the woman to whom the work was dedicated ended tragically. When the obstacles were overcome, Liszt took monastic vows and became an abbot. It happened in 1865. 10 years later, Liszt concentrated his activities in Hungary, where he was elected president of the highest school of music. Among his students were pianists who then gained enormous popularity in the whole world. Liszt's last concert took place in 1886. He became very ill with pneumonia and the illness caused his death on July 31, 1886. He was 74 years old, but the number of his musical pieces was over 1,200, including original plays and transcriptions. Franz Liszt and Johannes Brahms knew each other personally. When Franz listened to Johannes play, he wasn't impressed at all. Brahms was also disappointed in Liszt, unable to fully understand and appreciate one of his works that was just written. Their activities seemed alien to each other. Franz Liszt is the third star in history. The world knew him and the public adored him to the point of hysteria. Heinrich Heine called this phenomenon Lisztomania. This concept still exists today, but its meaning has now changed. Franz's contributions to pianism are invaluable, and musicologists consider Liszt to be the greatest pianist who ever lived. Brahms will come to see us again, but for now, see you soon. It was a podcast, When Does Brahms Come In? And sincerely yours, Sophie.